Hey everybody, welcome back. All right, so we are doing some more e-collar work here, and we are focusing today on the sits and downs. We're going to condition it with the e-collar. This sweet boy here is Louis. Louis is doing a 3-week board and train with us, and he's had a few of these sessions already. So he's a little skilled at sits and downs. We're still utilizing food. We're still luring sometimes if needed at this stage. Early on, you're going to lure quite a bit. Now, Louis is about a year old. He just turned a year old, so he still has a lot of puppy qualities in him. So as far as I'm concerned, I'm doing some puppy work here. And what you hear is the sound box. I hope it's not too obnoxious. But I am working at low levels with him. Last session we had, I was working at a 6. I think even going up to an 8. I'm going to start him off at a 4 here. And again, when you start, and I'll demonstrate this, you're going to use some food and you're going to lure it. You're going to lure the dog into the position, mark it, yes, and reward. That's the first step. Second step, after you've done that a few times, you are now luring the dog into position, but you're also giving it a cue, right? Notice I didn't mark it there. All right. There we go. Sit, yes. Down, yes. No e-collars. That's the first steps. You're going to do this maybe one session. That's about it. You don't do this any longer. You can utilize the e-collar, but you're going to introduce the e-collar very, very early on. You can set it up so that you are using the e-collar in the very first session. You just have to understand that you're going to be doing very, very low levels. Okay, you're going to have to find out what that working level is for your dog, and that's what you're going to stick at. Don't even think about going any higher. This is learning level stuff, baby stuff, kindergarten, pre-K, and you're just conditioning the e-collar to the behavior. Now, as I evolve through the training, I may still continue to use food, but now I want to start creating some distance between how I'm luring the dog and where I'm placing the food, right? And my hand. I don't want the dog to become overly dependent on the food nor the actual lure of the food, in other words. Some dogs can be. Sit, yes. So here we go. We're going to start utilizing the e-collar. Down, yes. Now, again, that's an example of just using some food. One drawback to using food is that the dog becomes too obsessed with the food and really doesn't think through the process of what he or she is trying to learn. And I am quick to pick up on when a dog becomes too distracted by the food. So here we're going to start to do some of the same behaviors, but we're not going to use the food, right? There's no food in my hand, but he's already fishing for it, right? Louis, sit. Yes. Now I mark and reward it, okay? Down. Yes. I am still using hand signals, which is perfectly fine. But I don't have any food in my hands. Sit. Yes. Now the sound box is something that I don't generally use when I'm working with the dogs alone, so the box can be a bit of a distraction, and it's a little obnoxious. Right now it's right here at my feet, and it's a little loud. I want you to pick up on it. Okay, that was my mistake. Sticking my hand in my treat pouch. It's the money bag for him, and he knows he's going to get paid. Down. Yes. Sit. Yes. Yeah, he's very distracted by the sound box, but still performing, which is good. Down. Yes. Button on, button off. The second you give the cue, button comes on. The second the dog does the behavior, button comes off. And right now we're at a level 4. Very low levels for a dog. And you can wait it out. It doesn't need to be a machine gun. It doesn't need to be a sit down, sit down. In fact, you'll tire your dog out. You'll bore him. You'll kill any kind of excitement unless you've got one of those kind of crazy high drive dogs, which it may work. But usually it does not. I allow the dog to just sit in a certain position for a certain period of time. It can be just a few, matter of seconds. And it can be a sit or it can be the down. And usually, especially if it's a sit, a dog will just lay down, which is perfectly fine for me because we're not working on duration. We are working on only conditioning the behaviors to the e-collar, right? We want to start building muscle memory here with the behaviors and simultaneously conditioning the e-collar. So he learns what turns it off. See my mistake. See where his eyes go? Sit. Yes. I'm going to mark that. You're probably wondering, well, he sat, but then he plopped right back down. Why are you paying it? I'm paying it because I'm marking the SIT. And he did it. It's all right that he went back down. Again, we're not working on duration. Sit. Yes. Now, he'll probably pop up faster if I had food in my hand. See, this is what I'm saying. I'll wait him out, which is perfectly fine. If he stays there a little longer, I may give him the bridge marker word, which is good. And I'll reward that because he's given me an extended stay. But if he plops down into, well, a down, that's perfectly fine also. It just gives me another opportunity to work on the SIT. Good. That's a good duration right here. Sit. Yes. It's all right. I'm going to pay the sit, even though he went into a down. Sit. Yes. With many dogs, your dog may be such a case. Sitting and downing in that order, in that combination, sit, down, is relatively easy. When you go from a down into a sit, that can throw a dog off. And it's a little more challenging for certain dogs. And they may need more help. So understand, for example, this is the reason why he has the leash. If he needs my help, I need to rush to give him that help. Well, rush is an exaggeration. It depends on the level of learning that he's at. But I am here to help him if I feel he gets stuck. Sit. Sit. Yes. Okay, I told him sit. And he went into a down. Down. Yes. Now let's see how he does without any kind of hand signals. Sit. So he's looking for, he's heavily, yes. He's reliant on hand signals and help, which is fine. Don't worry about that right now. Right now, learning levels, early stage, this is about maybe the third session that he's had. If I need to help him, I will help him. My goal is to kind of pull back from that help. So in other words, I want to pull back from the food. I want to pull back from the hand signals, right? Don't want to have heavy reliance on either one. In the future, I want to be able to give him the cue, and he should be able to perform it. Louis, sit. Yes. Notice also the distance that I'm at. There's a little significant gap here between us. If you do this exercise and you're very close, that's a crutch to the dog. Because now the dog is going to start to rely on you being within that proximity. And if he's very food motivated, I guarantee you that dog is going to want to stick his nose into your treat pouch or wherever it is that you have your food. Now, you do that for a session or two. And now you start to pull back, and that can throw the dog off entirely. The dog may be like, what the heck? You used to be here, you're over there. The dog may not necessarily understand what you are asking of it within that context. Remember, dogs don't learn too well contextually. So if you take a step or two back with your chair, and it is helpful to do with the chair sometimes, you may have to work at getting that dog back into that momentum of sit and down. Louis, sit. Yes. I'm going to be a little slower with the help. Down. Yes. Down's easy for him. And to sit's easy from a standing position as well. It's the sitting from a down position that's a little awkward for many dogs. Louis, sit. Yes. Yes, that was good, baby. That was good. Here, I'm going to give you a little more because you did so well. Louis is one of those dogs that leaves strands of spit all over your hand. Sit. Yes. All right, so I press that button on again because he went into a down. I'm going to wait him out, see if he gives me a little bit of duration. I don't need anything long here. If I get 5 seconds, 10 seconds, 15 seconds, it's perfectly fine. Maybe every 5 seconds I'll mark it. Good. And then I'll expand on that each session. Maybe then I'll mark it every 10, 15, 20 seconds. Good. Down. Yes. So remember, you must mark it. Again, if you're asking, well, he popped up, why are you paying him? I'm repeating myself. We are not working on duration. I am paying for the behavior that I asked for, which is a down, and he gave it to me. So I'm going to dish out the paycheck. I'll give you a little extra just for being cute. How's that? Let's see if he does a down from, well, I was going to try from a standing position, but it's okay. It's down. Now, should I give him some help? Yes. See what I mean? It's a little bit of help. And the beauty, as I've said in other videos of learning levels, is that he's at a 4. I can press that button forever. It's not going to bother him. In fact, sometimes he will barely even feel it. He's fishing for food. You got to be careful of this. These dogs start playing this clever game and they start to move out. Down. Yes. Now I'm going to make a separate video where I'm working on duration. I think he needs a few more sessions with just this. Louis, let's sit. Yes. See, I turned off the button a little too early, right? His behind was not on the bed just yet. So I'm calling out my mistakes so that you can kind of catch your own. Sit. Yes. See if we can get him to down. Down. Yes. And try it every way you can. Down, down from a standing position, sitting from a standing position, sit from a down position. Don't get stuck in one rhythm because your dog will only figure out how to do it within that context, and then throw something else in there, it'll confuse them. Sit. Yes. Sit. Sit. Yes. There you go, sweetheart. Good. Look at that. Look at that spit. Down. Yes. Down. Yes. I'll give you a little example of what I would do with duration work. Let's say I want to keep them down there, and maybe I'd have a timer, like a phone or something, which is what I'm using to record, but maybe you'd have a timer and you're going to time out 3 minutes at a down. And this is again later on. Down. Ordinarily, I'd be going up in higher levels, and this I would not pay. Okay? I'm fishing through my bag as a matter of habit because my mind is still in early levels here. But ordinarily, I'd be doing this after a few extra sessions, and I would not pay it if he pops up. However, I would mark it with a bridge marker, which is good, if he continues to stay. Bridge marker really is, again, the cue is good, and it's you're doing great. I love what you're doing. Keep doing it. Do more of it. So he pops up, button comes on. Good. You're doing so good, baby boy. Look at that spit. Oh, look at that. It's another laundry night, isn't it? Down. So I've got my hand in the cookie jar here. Yes. I marked it. I'm going to pay it. I shouldn't have marked it, but I'm going to pay it. All right, I think this is good to give you a general idea of what you should be doing with your dog. I may do a few more sessions like this with either him or other dogs. We've got quite a few coming in for board and train. Sit. Yes. Down. Yes. We're building muscle memory here, folks. Just muscle memory. Okay, it's like he's going to the gym. We're starting off with 20 pounds. Just lift this, buddy. Good, good. As he gets stronger, then we start to increase to 40, 50 pounds. Good. That's all right, sweetheart. All right, here we go. Let's call this a session. Let's break. Good boy. All right, I hope that helps.